No matter where you are and what's going on in your world around you, this is a good place to be. We want to welcome all of the people who are joining us through Facebook Live, those who are going to be following up with us later on YouTube. And thank you for your financial support that allows us to have a ministry outreach like this, not only here locally in Alpharetta, but literally all around the world right now, even as we speak. It's 2021. Can you believe it? Congratulations, you made it through 2020. Give yourself a round of applause for finishing up 2020. You know, it's interesting, on this weekend last year, pastors and preachers all over the world were doing messages and starting series on 2020 vision. And do you know what was not included in a single one of those messages and series? There wasn't anything about a worldwide pandemic. There wasn't anything about civil unrest. There wasn't anything about public, political upheaval. But that's what this past year was for all of us. And today we launch out into a brand new year, a brand new start. And we don't know what this year may hold. And as I was thinking about that, my mind went to a story that Jesus told in the greatest sermon ever preached. The Sermon on the Mount is the greatest sermon ever preached by the greatest preacher who ever preached. And he preached this sermon. It's recorded for us in Matthew chapters 5, 6, and 7. And Jesus, being the good preacher that he was, finished his message with an illustration. And if you look at the very end of Matthew chapter 7, you will discover Jesus tells a story about two houses that were built. One of those houses was built on a shaky, sandy, unstable, fragile foundation. Another was built on a rock-solid foundation. And Jesus told the story that when the winds came, and they blew, and the rains fell, and the waters rose, and great was the storm that attacked both of those homes. One came crashing down with a resounding thud, while the other one was able to weather the storms. And I thought about a story that I heard not too long ago. It was about a young lady who went to her dad and said, "Dad, I just have problem after problem after problem. Every time I solve a problem, another problem creeps up, and I am just absolutely exhausted with facing problems." And maybe you feel that way this morning. So without saying much, the dad, who happened to be a chef, took his daughter into the kitchen. He filled up 3 pots of water, placed them on the stove, turned all of them up on high till they began to boil. Into those 3 pots, in one he placed carrots, in one he placed eggs, and in one he placed ground coffee beans. His daughter was bewildered, wondering what in the world's going on. So after a period of time, he went over, he fished out the carrots, put them on a plate. He fished out the eggs, put them on the plate. He took the coffee and poured it into a cup. He says, "Honey, what do you see?" She said, "I see carrots and eggs and coffee." And then he invited her to come close. He said, "I want you to do something. I want you to feel the carrots." And she did. And then he cracked an egg and peeled the shell off. And then he gave her a sip of the coffee, and she just smiled at the beautiful flavors that were released. And he said to his daughter, he said, "Honey, all 3 of these substances, the carrots and the eggs and the coffee, faced the same adversity, the boiling water. Yet as a result of facing those adversities, each one came out different. The carrot went in strong, fibrous, yet came out soft and mushy. The egg had a fragile shell that protected the liquid interior, and now it was a hard-boiled egg. But the coffee was uniquely different from all of the others because the coffee beans literally changed everything about their surroundings." He said, "Honey, what do you want to be? You want to be the one who changes the world around them." Our mission at One Thing for Men is to spur men on to walk with God. And as we have gone through 2020, and as we launch into 2021, may we be like those coffee beans who make a difference in the world around us. And it all begins today.